All right, let's go and get started. Howdy, howdy, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sharkinbear, and welcome back to the channel. And before we begin, I just want to go ahead and thank every single person who's decided to click on this video, who's checking out my video right now. I really appreciate you. My community has been growing a lot with the drop of a lot of Soulstone Survivor content since 1.0, and it has absolutely been amazing to see all of you guys comment here, share your information here, help me out, and while I'm posting videos to help you out, I like this sort of thing. I've always been a casual gamer, a very chill gamer. And so I just love hanging out with you guys and you guys commenting back. So I just want to let you know, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I hope to thank you again for more future support. With that being said, we are going to be looking at the Assassin, which is the character we're going to be playing as. And I will say by default, the Assassin has gone through a lot of work, I guess, over the course of early access. This plain out used to be the worst character in the game. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. I actually hated the Assassin so much, I try to avoid it at all possible. Even to this day, I'm still not big on the Assassin, but with the introduction of Titan Hunt mode, I really feel like this is a clear-cut winner for the Assassin as far as showcasing it. So today we're going to be checking out the Assassin. I am going to be using the Worn Daggers. You'll notice I have him at plus 12. That's mostly because I was kind of wondering about something, and that is those modifiers that we have on the dagger. Currently I have it at plus 12, and I have 65% crit chance and 65% movement speed. I do believe there are certain weapons, as you're leveling up, you can actually lower the negative modifier on them, but I think at a certain point they just stop being lowered. So I believe that negative 10 multicast chance actually used to be a much higher negative. I can't remember, it's been such a long time, but it doesn't get any lower than negative 10. But that being said, even though we're using the Worn Daggers for this build, I would actually suggest you could actually use the Curved Daggers instead if you plan on to, and you'll understand why whenever I explain the build. The reason why maybe you'd be better off using the Curved Daggers is because you get 3 positive modifiers right. You get 30% cast frequency, 30% movement speed, and 15% multicast chance. Ooh, let's try upgrading these daggers a little bit more and see if we can actually get that negative. Okay, so the negative doesn't go any further down, but I am going to get these to plus 10 just to say I have them. So at plus 10, these will give you plus 50% cast frequency, plus 50% movement speed, and 25% multicast chance. That's pretty good. As far as our skills go, the reason why you can choose one or the other is actually because I'm going to be using a rune that allows you to use any ability that you have on any weapon that you've upgraded. So for this, we're actually going to be using the Worn Daggers just because that's what I used last round, and I just kind of want to showcase what I did it for. But we're actually going to be picking up the abilities from the alternate weapon as well. So that's why I say you can use one or the other, because we're going to grab these abilities anyways. I just feel better starting out with the Worn Daggers, mostly because Eviscerate is pretty awesome. It gives us Form, Haste, and Ambush. If you're not familiar with what Ambush does, Ambush says an attack is considered an ambush whenever you hit a stun enemy or from behind. Basically, based on the number of bleed stacks we have on an enemy, it's going to be doing extra damage. Now, Ambush is pretty terrible, in my opinion. Unless you're doing a real big heavy stun build, there aren't going to be many opportunities where you're going to be standing directly behind an enemy or a Void Lord, unless they're doing a channel or something in the other direction. But what really saves this is basically a non-optional skill for me personally, the Smoke Bomb. And Smoke Bomb basically throws down an area effect that it applies Disorient, making us do more crit damage, and regardless of where we are in relation to the enemy, we're going to be triggering our ambush effects. Because right off the bat, we aren't going to be applying bleed with either of these skills. We aren't going to be applying bleed with this skill, and we're not going to be doing the bonus damage that we could be, because we're not going to be triggering ambush unless we're behind an enemy. But as long as we're in the smoke cloud, ambush all the time. And then for our final ability, we're actually going to be taking Summon Assassin Enclave, which is going to stack more bleed, because as you can't tell right now, we're going to be focusing heavy on the bleed build, and they got cunning, so they'll take a little attention off of us as well. As far as our runes go, and I don't know why that's being funny, we are going to be taking Weapon Expert, Reroll Mastery, and the Unexpected Arsenal. Unexpected Arsenal allows you to use all those unique weapon skills that we have for our characters. I can't remember specifically how to unlock this. We'll have to check that out in just a second. Elemental Flow, because negative status effects deal damage 100% more often. That's going to be great for a bleed. We're going to have Multicast Mastery. Pulse of Agony, which is really awesome. Every time you apply bleed, there's a 10% chance to increase your cast frequency by 0.5%. 10 seconds. This effect can stack up to 20 times. And of course, Dash Mastery, because we never out it. As far as our skill tree goes, my skill tree is completely maxed out, but I will show you what the trait is. The trait is Bounty Hunter. The assassin may now receive assignments from time to time to perform while in the void, receiving temporary powers as payment on completion. So you just basically get like a buff to your character, just making them inherently stronger for a time. You'll know when this is up because right above your health bar there'll be a piece of paper that's folded up, and it'll unfold with your contract, and then you'll show a sign on your mini map that basically says, hey, hunt this target. And you'll chase him down, you'll kill him, boom, you got the buffs. So yeah, that is a little bit of the rogue. I would say that just like everything else, if you're starting out, make sure you're hitting all of your bounty hunter nodes first, and then secondary would probably be picking up these other nodes here that have the other little diamond around them, because basically these affect all of your characters. So you can increase your crit damage for everybody, increase your damage modifier for bombs for everybody. And is there anything else? I think those are the only two that I see. Yeah. All right, so we are going to jump into Titan Hunt mode and give this a shot. Of course, we're not playing without any modifiers. We're going to stay playing on stage 5, so that way we fight the Void King and see how this works. Also, I'm going to be dropping a poll at the same time this video goes live, because I want to know, do you guys prefer the Titan Hunt mode, or do you prefer the traditional Void Fields mode? Or, third option, you want to see me start progressing through the different levels of Titan Hunt. I just kind of want to get your guys' feel, because I want to make content for you guys. It's enjoyable for me regardless. I just think that, you know, as we go through the difficulties, if we choose that route, the videos might be just a little bit longer, just because enemies tend to get healthier as you go up in the difficulty. So yeah, check that poll out for me if you'd like, and let me know what your thoughts are, and I'll try making content based off what you guys poll as. So let's go ahead and jump into Titan Hunt. Alright, right at the start, I will say, you are going to notice that we are kind of slow at the start, just because we're not doing any bleed, so we're going to be missing out a lot of our damage. But we are going to choose Aranak, because Aranak has one of the coolest Titan powers that actually makes the rogue and the assassin incredibly strong, which the Titan Hunt power we are looking for specifically says that it doesn't matter where we're at. Ambush will always trigger 100% of the time, regardless of oh, let's do I'll lock this. I'll do bloodshed. Now everything does cast bleed, but yeah, ambush allows us to not have to have smoke cloud, but we're still going to take smoke cloud because it does help out, even especially at the start here. I'm gonna take Sinister Strike. We could have picked an ability there, but right now I need to farm up some XP. I would like to get a couple of levels here. But one thing you will notice about when we get rolling here with the specific build is we are going to be moving. This guy gets so many buffs. I'm going to lock this laceration. I'm going to take the brutal strikes here. And we are getting all this XP. Let's go ahead and sit on the objective. We do get backstab here. I am going to go ahead and lock this and take the backstab. And while we're not going to be benefiting hugely from backstab just yet, oh man, we're getting so many multicast and Sinister Strike. It's crazy. But we got to kill these guys, but it's going to happen really slowly. And as you can see, we actually have an aura around us. This is part of the artifact power, which I did not go into. That is entirely my fault. And this is probably the other reason why you want to take the Worn daggers if you're going this route. I need to see what the other daggers do, but this emits an aura around us that applies bleed to nearby enemies every 0.5 seconds. You become elusive and can walk through your targets. Also, our power just came up. You can see the scroll, not paper, just scroll basically came open and says eliminate the marked target. So that's how we know we can empower ourselves. If you look over on the mini map, you can actually see our target directly to the south of us, and we're going to work our way over there and kill him so we can get our empowerment. And he's running away from us, so he's absolutely 100% giving us the benefit of all of our ambushes. I'm going to go ahead and take Vicious Strikes, and we'll work our way over to this one right here. It looks like it's Void Lords. I'm going to go ahead and take Powerful Strikes. We might be able to trigger a couple of ambushes right off the bat, because some of these guys like to channel stuff. Let's see. I am going to go ahead and go with Smoke Bomb. So we're going to sit behind them. We actually were able to deal a good bit of damage because of we were able to stand behind them. I'm gonna go ahead and take skill chain. Whenever you cast a skill of type swing, you have a chance of casting another one of your current skills with type bomb instantly. The only bomb skill we have is smoke bomb, and the more bombs, the better. We are gonna go ahead and work with skill chain. Whenever you cast a type swing, you have a chance of casting one of your skills with thrust. I think we only have one swing skill and 3 thrust skill. This is a thrust. This is a thrust. Backstep's a swing? Really? Oh, so we have 2 swing and 2 thrust. All right, well, still good. We'll take that one. We learned today together. Let's go ahead and banish what we don't want. We only are missing like ones. Maybe I'll save some of my banishes. All right, summon enclave. There's our last skill. Now we can afford to turn off looking at active skills. And I'm actually gonna pick up magnetic, believe it or not. Probably could go well with backstab. Got a legendary one here. For each skill you have type swing, improve your skills without the swing type ability. Well, we only have 2 swing skills, which means we're increasing multicast, Sinister Strike, Eviscerate, Smoke Bomb, and Summon Enclave. Nice. And we're gonna work our way to our next objective. It seems like we have a rare objective over here, and you can tell just about the amount of buffs that we have for our abilities that we're actually just like trucking it across the screen. That is probably realistically, one of the most amazing things about the assassin build is how many buffs we're getting from our current weapon skill. Because I mean, look at this, when my controller starts freaking out, we're getting crit chance through form, we're getting speed through haste, more crit and crit and haste, bleed, finesse, which is improving our multicast, and more haste. Like, we're really fast. Like, we're getting a lot of additive bonuses to our characters, like passively. It's pretty nutty how fast we're able to move at this current moment. What's our movement speed? 265%. And I just took 10% movement right there. Looks like we have our next assassin contract up. We'll go ahead and clear this guy out. Might as well stick around and grab this XP. Right here, looks like we have a couple of cave bats coming at us with their doom AoEs. I don't know why we would take movement, but you know what? We're taking movement. Remember, I probably shouldn't have taken movement there, honestly, but that is a fault of my own. You should also learn to remember, even though something has a specific color to it, rarity, even if it's a legendary, technically speaking, if it doesn't benefit you, you gotta try to learn to not click on it just because it's shiny. I am a worst case scenario type of guy. Like, I am gotta click on it because it's shiny. I can't help myself. I think Shadow is the only skill we have. Whenever you cast a swing skill, you have a chance of casting another one of your Shadow skills. Yeah, no, we'll take that. Yeah, like, for instance, I'm not gonna be using armor. I'm not gonna be using block. Assassins don't wear any of that stuff. That's how they're so quick and speedy. Why would I take any of those? Even if I saw a legendary armor perk or whatever, I'm like, who needs that? And I'm gonna just roll on through that. It has no benefit for me whatsoever. Staying alive, whatever. If someone captures me, I'm an assassin. I'm not doing my job properly. Go ahead and start working on killing these guys. They're a little bit healthier than I would like them to be, but that's okay. As soon as we get our ambush perk from Aranak, and then we get another perk from Mezahet the Scorpion that basically increases the amount of damage we do for every stack of bleed we have on enemies, we're gonna be deleting fools left and right. Matter of fact, last time I checked, whenever I was playing, trying this one out, I actually literally face tanked the Void King. It was pretty fun, honestly. We're gonna go with the rare one down here. Even though we only need one more point, I am still gonna go ahead and try to knock out these sporlings, which I think this is what no, spiders. Okay. Sporling spiders, basically the same thing. They both live in the void. Alright, is he the last one? No. Oh, now we got sporlings. Let's re-roll. Let's go cast frequency of our assassins. When you cast a skill type of swing, you have a chance of casting another one of your skills with thrust. Okay, cool. We got 2 thrust skills. You can actually... Oh, wait. Assassins are actually a thrust skill. Huh. How about that? You can tell which skills are being affected because down on my hotbar, you can actually see the skills being outlined in yellow, basically indicating which skills are actually being affected. Pretty nice. Not going to fall for the power of Agile. I really like Agile, but you really don't need it with this build. So I would go ahead and say just ignore those. We are going to increase the area effect of Backstab and Twin Daggers. I think that'll be really good. Lethality. We have 148% lethality. I'm going to lock this, take this, and we're going to make our way to Aranak. And as I said before, I do have the Soulstone Survivor Wiki linked out in the description of this video if you want to go check out some knowledge on Soulstone Survivor, maybe get a learn on how some of the passes work and how status effects work or whatever. But as far as I can tell, cast frequency actually makes our assassins attack even further, or even faster. So if you decide to use them, they actually would benefit from cast frequency. That gives them attack speed. Now there is an attack speed cap. I don't know entirely what the attack speed cap is. I'm not going to give you that information, but it's definitely on that. Check it out. We killed Aranak really freaking fast, and because of that, we got Ultimate Assassin. Increases your cast frequency, and all of your skills with ambush trait will now always cause an ambush. So regardless of whether or not we're in the smoke bomb, even though it gives us coverage, we're still going to be annihilating fools. We go ahead and take this portal, and we're going to head on over to Mezahet. Mezahet's going to give us our next power. That power is basically the ability to get our bleed stacks to cause us to do 50% additional damage. And now that we have ambush all the time, essentially no matter where we're at, we're going to be stacking up bleed like crazy. And you can see our damage output is much higher immediately. All right, multicast on Backstab. Yeah, actually, I'll lock the Behemoth because if there is one place this game does, or this build does underperform, you will notice we don't have a lot of health. When something hits us, it is going to hurt. But thankfully, because we have elusiveness through our artifact power, it means we can actually move through units and don't have to dash at all. And because of the fact that we are so friggin' quick, we can usually avoid most AoEs with little to no problem. But if you cast a skill type thrust, you have a chance to cast your swing skills, Backstab, and I think, yeah, what's the other one called? Twin Daggers. Got a chance. Yeah, no, we'll take that. Because I'm pretty sure they can trigger into one another. I am going to turn visibility down here a little bit because this seems to fall into the same boat as a lot of other skills. Even with the smoke bomb there, as you can see, it like covers the ground in purple. Makes it really, really, really hard to essentially see if there's dangerous stuff on the ground. You'll notice I did increase the area effect of smoke bomb. Yeah, I want to do that. I absolutely want to increase the area of my smoke bomb wherever I can. If you're not playing Titan Hunt, it's basically inevitable. You need to have smoke bomb on you if you have ambush skills. Having smoke bomb on you is pretty much a requirement if you plan on playing anything ambush. And increasing the area of your smoke bomb just means that it has more ground coverage and you're getting more bonuses from your ambush. See, shadow skills. Okay, so we have basically a multicast chance increase on our smoke bomb. Sure. Looks like we have a target out. Whenever we cast swing skills, cast one of your bomb skills. Also smoke bomb. Awesome. Getting a lot of smoke bomb love here. I'm gonna go ahead and go with the bleed. I think we've done enough with smoke bomb. We're gonna have a lot of smoke bomb out. I can promise you that. I am gonna go ahead and pick up the eviscerate for the extra damage. There we go. We'll take the extra bleed damage. I will reroll. Frequency of our Assassin Enclave by 20% increase. Yeah, sure, why not? Take out the Dune Vultures. I love it. Look how fast we're moving. This is crazy. I'm making Speedy Gonzalez look like regular Gonzalez. All right, we got a 12% crit chance boost. That's nice. I'm like I said, I'm gonna hold off on smoke bomb stuff related, and that's exactly what that's doing. I'm gonna focus on more bleed stuff on it. That's a lot where our powers come. Ooh, Bounty hunter. Complete, increases the duration of bonuses for completing assignments. All right. Yeah, no, I'm gonna lock this one. Like bounty hunter. We got XP thing right here. I mean, we have 300, almost 400 stacks of haste on us. That's why we're moving. Your critical strikes may now apply bleed from 3,033 to 6,067. Well, we have 100 and... Wow, we have 340. Oh, that's right, because we got form, which gives us crit chance on our skills. Which skills have a form? Sinister strike and eviscerate, giving us additional crit chance, meaning we have 348% crit chance at crit damage. Insane. That's nutty. Increased damage of those guys. And like I said, we have our effects turned down. And I'm still barely being able to see the ground. Like, even at 0.3, it's really hard to see the ground. Wing has a chance to cast her thrust. Yes. Even at 0.2, it's still kind of hard to see. Pretty funny. I'm gonna move around here. I don't really need to worry about shadow. Let's do Finisher strikes. That's form and haste. Eviscerate. That's form and haste, and also does more damage on the bleed count. Okay, yeah. Eviscerate is definitely going to be our main source of damage. Attack speed of eviscerate. I'll do that. You also got to remember, as long as we have our artifact power going, we're going to be dishing out even more bleed to around us. Increased damage modifier gained from complete assignments. Okay. Damage increase. I want the damage increase. I'll take that over the crit chance. We have an insane amount of crit chance. Crit chance or lethality really isn't a requirement for this build. But remember, at like at 100%, you have 100% crit chance. 150%, you have a chance to double up on your crits. I think it's like 250, you have a chance to triple up on your crits, and so on and so forth. I don't think there's a point at which that gets worse, like it falls off. That I don't know entirely, but I don't think it does. Lethal celerity. Every time you apply form, you have a chance to get haste. Jesus Christ, we're about to be the Flash up in here. I feel like I'm ice skating. How fast can we get in here? This is insane. I like that. It might actually get me killed. If I don't watch out, I'm going to try to skip those from now on, just because of the fact that I don't want to overshoot and accidentally land myself in a terrible AoE position. Alright, looks like we got some... Like, look at this travel time. We just traveled the entirety of the other side of the map in like 2 seconds. We'll go ahead and look at... What's our crit damage at? 302. I really wish we had a crit damage buff. You know, we don't even have multicast, really? I guess I really paid attention to that one. My God. I did slide there and took some damage. Multicast on Sinister Strike. Why wouldn't we take that? I am going to lock the Relentless, and I'm going to take this. 600 and... roughly 610 stacks of haste there. Next time I see it happen, I'm gonna what should we call it? Pause the game. And I want to see how fast that actually makes us. It's so funny how much slower we are when we don't have all those form stacks. I have a feeling we're about to mess Mezzahet up. Alright. We are messing Mezzahet up. We do need to stay out of the way of the Mezzahet, as well as the tornadoes coming there at the bottom there. And dead. Titan power. Oh, I actually don't think we need multi. You know what? We'll take the multi-cap. Increases all damage you cause based on the number of stacks of bleed on the target. Maximum bonus is 50%. Important to notice that, like, if I were to do Mezahet again, like say we did her again on round 4, because we were guaranteed to not be able to have her on our next biome, more or less, you can actually double up on this. You can take blood parasites again and get a maximum bonus of 100% damage. These bonuses, these Titan powers, actually stack. So that is a pretty cool thing. We can also get crit chance if we want. That'd be a really cool one. But what I'm going to go with is blood parasites. And then what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to come back to Mezahet. And we're not going to take blood parasites. We're going to get exposed just so we have additional damage going out. Because I think it's like 12% per stack. My next round, we're going to go to Brokenth. Because I want to get shattered. For armor stripping and armor reduction. Not that we need it. But I would like it. Alright, let's stand right here. Stand right here. Give me. Oh, it took 46 damage. That's fine. Even more haste, really. You want to do that? 648% movement speed. That is crazy. We'll take the attack cast frequency of Sinister Strength. Now we just gotta avoid death. Is that what we're doing? Oh no. This is collect. Oh, I guess it is. Survive for 8 seconds. Where are your hands? You wanna cast me? You got me still. God, I love greased up death guy. Probably one of my favorite kind. I haven't watched Family Guy in forever, but greased up death guy is fantastic. I'm gonna get even more haste. Matter of fact, that's probably going to be the name of this build. Like, I hadn't like usually whenever I do this stuff, I don't actually have a name for the builds until I go to create my thumbnails for it. And now I feel like I gotta do like a greased up deaf guy joke for this one. Like he's like a greased up deaf assassin. I can't wait to make that thumbnail because every part of me thinks I'm gonna take the head from the greased up deaf guy from Family Guy and put on the head of the assassin. And that makes me pretty happy. I make all my thumbnails myself, and my thumbnail making skills are pretty terrible, but I have been enjoying a lot. Like, I'm not even a big South Park person, but I tell you, whenever I made that General Disarray thumbnail earlier this past week, whenever I made the bunny build for the Chaos Walker, I was smiling ear to ear the whole time. Oh my god. 1,274% movement speed. Are you kidding me? If you get caught, what's wrong with you? I think if anything, I'm gonna die accidentally just for how fast I am. Alright, we got a target. And what am I doing here? Oh yeah, XP on the ground. Let's pick all this up. I'm gonna go with damage modifier. I'll go with multicast. I'm gonna try to hold on to some oh, we actually have a lot of reroll. Take that one. Damage increase. Yes. Let's go after our target. He's trying to hide in the corner. What a fool. You dead? He's dead. Okay. We'll go with Merciless. We'll head over to this epic one. Jesus. Oh, quit. Oh my god. I'm gonna stand right here. Just move out of the way. Standing in the fire. Again, it's hard to see. I'm gonna turn this all off. Like, I have to turn down the effects or else I'm gonna die. I'm trying to show off for you guys. I'll get a 0.1 visibility. How about that? I don't really feel like some of these visibility effects are as strong as they should be. Even at 0.1, this is still heavily obscured. increase the amount of assassins we have. But that, pretty cool. The cool thing is, I think there's some skills that'll actually do damage based on the amount of movement speed you have, and I can just imagine. I feel like maybe I gotta make that video. I feel like I gotta make a movement-based build where I just get 1300% movement speed and then just like one punch enemies into oblivion. I wonder if that's possible. Now I need to know. All right, we got one more. We'll take this uncommon and kill these Lords of the Void, and then we'll go show Bro Kent what's up. For a chance. Bounty Hunter. Let's do Bounty Hunter. Boom. Laceration 570%. Damage of our thrust abilities, additional 30%. That. Alright, let's go. Get a full heal whenever we go to face the Titans, which is always really nice. And we're about to get even more stupid strong. These next two Titans that we take down are going to give us Shattered, and then we're going to go back to Mezahet and get exposed. We're about to be trucking these enemies to death. He's dead. We're taking Shattered. Unfortunately, never saw a treasure goblin. I hate when we don't see treasure goblins. Let's take Mezahet. Now let's start trucking. Alright. Pick all this XP up with their face. Oh my god. Oh wow. Okay, so this is adrenaline. This is actually gonna give us finesse. So we're about to boost the heck out of our multicast. Jesus Christ. We're about to be multicast fiends. Two powerful strikes. No one is gonna be able to top our multicast nature. I mean, it was already pretty high, but now being tied to our haste. Take a different. Let's take an extra dash. Why not? Where's our multicast chance now? 331%. Yeah, no, we're pretty good. Take the XP there, or the magnetic. Ooh, we get to be tanky now. All right. The tankiest assassin. I don't know, guys. I'm kind of feeling like maybe assassin might be like the new go-to. This is feeling pretty good. Definitely not the healthiest, but being able to move around this way and also being able to take a hit every once in a while, this is pretty absurd. If I went to Volkage and Vivolt, and they were able to give me the... Oh, actually, no, we need prowess. Shattered to get prowess. We would actually get a couple things there probably that would benefit us if they drop. Actually been having problems with that particular Titan boss giving me what I want. I'm just gonna stand here. Psych. Psych. Alright, let's see. Merciless. Like some extra. I can afford to get over like 300 health. I think it would be pretty good. Kill Sand Elemental. Okay. I'll kill all elementals. Get bulkier. This guy is like the king of getting physical buffs. Did we kill? Oh, there he is. Actually, drove past him on accident, I think. Damage modifier, cast frequency. Let's do damage modifier. Jesus. 45% damage buff? Yeah. Okay, good. We'll go over here. Take this. Take out these Titans. Stand right over here. I'm gonna mind my own business. I'm just here to pay my taxes. Like, I don't pay. Not in the void. All right, these guys are dead. Go. Let's see, damage increase. And if the government's listening, I 100% pay my taxes. Please don't come after me. We're gonna go with area effect. That's mostly to affect our smoke bomb. And remember, even though we're ambushing everything by default, and we don't necessarily need smoke bomb for the smoke bomb. Remember, smoke bomb actually has an alternate effect. It does drop disorient, which makes our crit damage on enemies like a lot bigger, as long as they're in the smoke bomb. So, smoke bomb still has a use outside of being able to make ambush active. We'll go over here and we'll do this uncommon, and that will be Bezahet about to eat some sand. Area effect on our swing ability, sure. Our crit damage, yeah, make it higher. I'm gonna make my bleed deal more bleed. I'm gonna make your blood bleed. All right, time to head inside. I'm here about your car's extended warranty, Bezahet. Dead. All right, and we're gonna choose to go with exposed. Every stack of exposed will increase extra damage by 12%. You could technically go for the blood, increasing your damage by an additional 50% if you want. I just think we'll get more out of exposed for the.
I've got the sacred blood. Time to open the primordial portal.
4 dashes is pretty nice. I didn't even pay attention. I believe by default the assassin starts out with 3 dodges. None of which are very important right now, seeing as how we move so fast and we can literally phase through enemies due to our artifact power. Collect the void fragments, okay? Okay. Not void fragments. Corrupted Magi. Where you guys at? Here? Increase the multicast chance of your non-swing skill. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Go. Multicast, sure. More health? Yeah. So very healthy. I'll take some health. Again, health not important. I'm taking it for pretty much no reason other than the fact that I don't want to eat through all my rerolls. I kind of want to save some for when we get to the arcane mage. Crit chance of backstab and twin daggers being increased whenever we thrust skill. Fine by me. Move over here. Move all the way out of that. Shake her hand. Alright. Let's reroll a little bit. Anything good? I'm gonna take Leviathan. We'll lose a little bit of movement speed. As a matter of fact, anytime you see Leviathan, this might actually be the build that you pick Leviathan every single time, because you can take so many hits to your movement unless you're doing like a movement-based build. Bleed, 720%. Alright, we are not very healthy right now. We've actually taken quite a number of hits. Breach your thrust skill, improve your non-thrust skills damage by an additional 16%. Multicast on Eviscerate, absolutely. Doesn't look like we have any health crystals out, which is unfortunate, so we're not going to be regaining any health. Increase the damage of Sinister Strike, Eviscerate, Backstab, and Twin Daggers by an additional 40%. I will take it. Looks like we're going to fight some more Titans here. Increase damage of our assassins. Sure. Last one's probably across the bridge, isn't he? He is. Boom, dead. Attack speed eviscerate. Absolutely. Looks like we only need an uncommon right here. Feel strong. Frequency. Yes. There you go. Bleed. Area effect. I think so. Bleed 780%. Nice. Let's do. Yeah, sure. Why not? I don't think it really mattered much there. Go slow. Also, I am using the Assassin's alternate skin for reaching max level in the skill tree with it. I'll be honest, probably one of the coolest skins in all of Soulstone Survivor. Kind of reminds me of a rogue set from World of Warcraft that I really... Bye-bye. Gonna take... Ooh. Now we're above 800%. We can do crit damage. What do I mean? You know what? We're going with the damage modifier. 265% damage modifiers. I did notice this takes a little bit longer to channel for some reason. Not entirely sure why, but it does. All right, well, let's just stand in front of him. There he goes. It's step phase one. We did take 23 damage. But I'm willing to lose a life here, honestly. We still have a revive. 2 revives, both of them. I love how my assassins aren't even really paying attention to him. They kind of just turn in on themselves. All right, let's do it. I'm going to do this whole thing without actually moving. I'm going to use just dashes. He did. All right, time for the next one. I am not going to move from the spot. That is my promise to you. We're going to face tank the crap out of this guy using our bulwark finesse, our crit chance haste assassin. This guy's got the illusion of plate mail. Do it. Uh-oh. We were about to do it. There you go. I'm not moving. Dead. The only way that could have been any better is if we had gotten the bleed one that gives us percentage of bleed damage dealt up front. I can't remember what it was called. Lacerate, maybe? Go away. You're dead.
The head falls with the serpent.
All right, and that is pretty awesome. If we wanted to, if we kept on going and we were just going this, we could also make him like the healthiest assassin ever, because figure giving him 2 points of max health every time we cast a skill, like a 5% chance, I still think we would get pretty insane amounts of health. Damage, modifier, cast frequency, and multicast, all really good. Wound would probably be what I take, just because it's the only place you can get wound in the game. Like I said before, wound, if you're not familiar with it, wound says anytime you apply effects while wound is active, there's a 50% chance they will be doubled, last for 6 seconds. So my bleed would build up crazy with wound. Pretty awesome. So let's go ahead and finish out our run and see what our damage numbers look like. As far as our skills go, it looks like Viscerate did exactly what I thought I was going to do. 603.3 billion points of damage. It is pretty funny to me that like the closest next skill, of course, is Twin Daggers doing 47.9 billion. But of course, I knew already where all of our damage would go from. As far as our passives go, as we leveled up, it looks like this is like a monstrous amalgamation of different picks. Honestly, there's a lot of stuff in here that you don't need. Like you don't really need to pick up movement speed. I did pick up agile a couple times. I'm just used to having to pick agile. We're building so much movement speed through haste from this. It's pretty crazy. You also don't need a lot of crit chance. You can take lethality if you want. We have 2 skills giving us form right here. Form is building us crit chance. We were getting an insane amount of crit chance from hell. I would say probably the things that you would probably want to most focus on for this build would probably be cast frequency and multicast chance. Now I know we didn't see a lot of that in here. I don't think we got particularly lucky with crit chance or multicast. 48% chance on just the multicast there. There were other skills that caused skills to happen again when they were cast, and that's pretty much as close as we got to multi. I would say that the bounty hunting stuff, it's fine, but it's not entirely necessary, just because I didn't really ever feel like I was really needing. What you really did need, though, if you were in Titan hunting, definitely go with Aranak first, Spider, just so we could pick up the ambush there, so that way we could have the trait ambush trigger all the time, regardless of whether or not we were behind enemy. After that, you definitely want to stop over at Mezahet, because Mezahet gives us that bleed. Where is... There he is. Blood Parasites increases all damage you cause based on the number of stacks of bleed on the target, up to a maximum of 50%. And then we also picked up Shattered and Exposed. Shatter coming from Brokenth and Exposed coming from Crushing Pincers, which was as a head skill. But yeah, that's a little bit of the ability there. Let's head back to the main menu and I can show you the skills I took again, just so that we can walk through it. Again, I am using the Worn Daggers with the artifact power causing bleed. What does the Curved Dagger? Fragility. Fragility isn't bad. You're obviously going to be doing less bleed, but fragility is going to make it to where your enemies do less damage. You can still technically rock this set of daggers if you want. You really have a choice here when you're following this build. Preferably, I think the Worn Daggers is probably going to be the best route, but I think both of them are going to be pretty good. For our skill wise, we went with Sinister Strikes and Eviscerate off the Worn Daggers. And from the Curved Daggers, we took Twin Daggers and Backstab, and then we paired that with Smoke Bomb and our Summon Assassin, so we can have all those bleeds. And we also use this one for the initial ambush if you don't have the Titan power, or you're running like the, what is it called, the Void Fields. If you're running Void Fields, you're definitely going to want to take Smoke Bomb, but until you get that power from Aranak and Titan Hunt, you definitely get this. Plus we get the Disorient for getting increased crit damage. As far as our runes go, again, we took our versatility runes, being Weapon Expert, so we had both weapon skills at the start. Reroll Mastery, so that way you have extra reroll every 5 levels. And Unexpected Arsenal, which allows us to get an access to the weapon pool based off the weapons, rather, you know, the unique weapon skills for each weapon. And then we took Elemental Flow for increased bleed damage, Multicast Chance, Pulse of Agony, which gives us increased cast frequency anytime there's bleed, and then Dash Mastery, because we never leave home without it. I'm going to be completely honest here. I never leave home without it, right? Dash Mastery, every single video, I talk about how useful this is. You really don't need it with the Assassin, with this build, because you're going to be able to move so fast, you're really not going to be dashing a lot. So if you were to swap this out for something else you think is, you know, going to help you out, make the build stronger, by all means, go for it. There are so many other options here. You can take it. I mean, if you wanted to be even quicker for whatever reason, get Light Feet. So shoot. I don't actually know what else I would take in instead, if I have to be completely honest about it. But I'm sure there's something. I mean, Divine Legacy could be pretty good. It guarantees 3 legendaries at level 25. So it gives you a free legendary at level 25. It's going to give you 3 choices. And I don't know why it took my rabbit brain so long to take it, but if there's 3 legendary choices, you can lock 2 of those legendary choices. Pick one, and then the next time lock a legendary choice, pick the other, and then we level up again, get the 3rd legendary choice. Like, you can get all 3 of them if you just lock them. So, interesting note on that one. As far as the skill tree goes, remember, whenever you're following out the rogue tree, to take all your bounty hunter notes first, if you want to take advantage of the bounty hunter debuff whenever you kill your contracts. Also take your increased crit damage and your increased damage modifier, so that way they affect all of your characters. After that, just fill it out as needed. Of course, you can use access to these runes to really help. Well, but that being said, if you like this build and you want to see more build guides like this here on this channel, make sure you like, subscribe, comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts on this build are, if you got something better or something you'd like me to try. If there is something you would like me to try, make sure you leave the character, the runes, the weapons, any information you have down in the comments, and I'll do my best to make sure I can get it to work. Again, also, I'm going to make a poll. If you want to tell me what type of content you guys want to see in the future, would you want to see me do more void fields with overlord runs, or do you like the current Titan Hunt showcasing, or would you like to see me progress through Titan Hunt? Let me know your thoughts. And yeah, until next time, you guys take care. Wow. Until next time, you guys take care, and I will catch you all in my next video. Later.